Guess I can start recording. This is my reminder to start recording is what that was. So we'll just take it from the top. Vintage story. Minecraft for perverts. I have a... You buy this already. It's been a story. We're going to play on my server. I moved the... I have mods on the server. Man, my intro is all goobered now because of... having to restart. There are actually people playing on the server right now, but I moved the spawn point 10,000 blocks away. So we will not be anywhere near them. Is it going to get stuck on launching client instance? Doesn't seem like it. Except now it's early in the day. I'm going to bring it back to the morning. Okay. Where do we leave off? My funny little man I made. So this is obviously very Minecraft, except I've got knees and elbows. And I got to make my man ugly as possible. Normally you don't have ears. The perverts wanted goblin ears, so I obliged. And yes, you can punch dirt. This is medium fertility soil. But the first thing you're going to want to do... There was a pig. Here's modded content, is rivers. Normally there aren't really rivers. Is that a wolf or a bear? There's a guy over there. The first thing you're usually going to want to do... Claystone. Claystone is not useful. Oh, we've got a pear tree and a pink apple stem. I don't know why the fruit trees have been spawning with just... Here we go, flint. I need flint. And here's how I knew this game was something special. Is you put the flint down. I'm going to make a flint knife. I have to nap flint. And now I have a knife blade. Now I need to find some sticks. Pick up that flint. We're gonna need more. I hear some sticks. So there's a Minecraft crafting menu. Apparently one of the road maps is to no longer do this. And here we go. Now I have a knife. I'm gonna need another knife, so sure, I'll show you exactly how napping works. You put this, you crouch and you put the stone on the ground, and it gives you a recipe list. We'll make another knife. And the yellow squares are the ones you have to remove, and the non-yellowed ones are the ones you leave behind. And once one is detached, it breaks all of it. Like if I do this, that'll break. Bam. I have another knife. And the game is granular enough that this claystone is too soft for stone tools. You could use more than just flint. There's pig and chickens. And horse tails. So our quest in the early game is going to be to... the only inventory spaces we have are... Well, I'm starving to death. Okay, I guess my early... that green bar on the right is my food meter. So I suppose my thing I should try doing first is getting some food. Yeah, my early game quest is to stop starving. This game... actually, here's something we need, are reeds. But I want to look for some berries. Cranberries. I hear some cranberries. You just pick them right off the bush and eat them. So my inventory slots are only the 10 slots that I have on my bar. And I guess the offhand slot, which is for like torches and stuff. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is make some backpacks. And there's an early game guide. Is it in the H? Okay, now the H button brings up the handbook, which has most of the information you need in almost helpful form. And there is an early game survival thing that usually launches when you launch into a server for the first time. And one of the things it tells you to do is to collect reeds, which we get from cattails, which you can break with a knife. And with the cattails, if you press H when you're hovering over an item, it'll tell you what you can make with it. And we want to make hand baskets. I have crafted a hand basket. And you put it in a backpack slot. Behold! 3 inventory slots. Oh, there's peat here. I suppose I should get working on the next upgrade to... My dog might be being annoying. The next upgrade we will need to get, that guy can help us with. But first I'll need some more flint and some more sticks. The next backpack you use after reed hand baskets are hunter's backpacks. To make hunter's backpacks, I need some pelts. You can also get sticks by breaking branchy leaves. Yeah, my stupid dog is being annoying. Hold on. Okay, whatever. So I got some sticks. Can I find some more flint? There's a wolf. There's some more flints. Alright, so let's make some spears. You might suspect that a spear and a knife are very similar, and they are. I'm out of flint, so I have to use claystone to nap. So this game obviously is extremely like Minecraft. Really, though, it's more like Valheim. See if I can find that pig. I won't say no to more flint. There you are. So we have to kill. Make more than one spear. That's my guide to hunting in this game. We got some meat, some rawhide mediums, and some fat. And then he turns into a skeleton. And you can break him up into bones. So we can turn rawhides into pelts by treating them with fat into oil hide. And then the oil hide will cure over the next couple of days. Should probably get some more food, huh? So let's go out a looking. I see some green here. Ah, flax. This will be important later. But I'm probably not going to get into flax farming. My goal is to... onions. I want to get some iron tools made. Or I want to find and get to iron, and then I'll go back to where everybody else is. Yeah, here's the map. These rivers are not vanilla. I'll use a mod to get rivers. I could start cooking my food, but my meat will not be cooked by the time until I start to starve to death. Starvation is quite slow, so that might be fine. It takes a while to starve to death. And I can't eat raw meat because that would be uncivilized. Yeah, I'm starving to death. In that case, well, let me make sure there's not some berries nearby. Or maybe some mushrooms. Yeah, your voice is an instrument you pick, and I picked the oboe, I think. Surely, no, I'm betting all on berries. We are going to find berries. Or mushrooms. There were some cranberries, so certainly there should be some more. Looks like our savior today are turnips. Just eat some raw turnips. Ooh, what's this? Some kind of structure? Yeah, this game takes place after Apocalypse. So you find ruins everywhere, and you can dig into them for treasures. Oh, and there's some traders up here. I'm going back here because there's peat, which is a fuel. But I'm going to have to cut down a tree anyways. So let's make an axe. So you can actually use bone for an axe handle. Let's chop down this maple tree. It'll take a minute. Stone tools really suck. Yep. Mm-hmm. And now I have wood. Yeah, I don't know if the MIDI voices are, well, they're like placeholder effects. This game is not released yet. Oh, there were berries right here. This game is not released yet, I should say. It's kind of like open access, but really it's more like an open beta. Let me collect some grass. I'm going to have to make a fire starter with sticks and grass, and I have a fire starter. Then I'll put the grass on the ground, use the axe to chop up my logs into firewood. And I will make a fire. And I'll start cooking my meat. But I should probably... I'm not sure it's worth making a shovel yet. Because I can dig this peat with hand. By hand. Yeah, this game is likely to be a forever project, but... it just got some really substantial content updates. Which, again, makes me think Valheim. But I think this game is just better than Valheim. So this is my first sell. If you like Minecraft but want to have like more survival gameplay, this game is for you. If you like Valheim but want to play a better Valheim, this game is for you. Oh yeah, this game's gorgeous. Like, sure, the character models are very silly. And the game has some balance issues. What game doesn't? But a lot of those are fixable problems. Collect some more reeds. I can use another handbasket. And then soon I'll get to find out if I will be able to sleep tonight or if I'll just have to hang around in the dark. It depends on what the people on the server are doing. And this other stuff is Thule. I didn't know how to pronounce this word, but Burnthead told me how. It is only used for thatch. For roofing. Not as useful as cattails. Okay. Our early game inventory is set. What kind of balance issues are there? There are starting classes you start as. Like, I'm a malefactor. And a lot of them are really unbalanced. In the... Like, the drawbacks are really punishing. Like, there are a lot of exclusive recipes behind being a tailor. But the gameplay of being a tailor is really... You're just weaker and worse than everyone else for no real benefit. Like, Hunter is easily the best class, I think. Oh, my fire is done. So I modded all of that just to try to make it more comfortable. Because the game is very easy to mod. Should probably make some torches. Yeah, hunters are bad at melee combat, but ranged combat is, like, better than melee combat. Do I need one cattail? Do the crappers come out at night? Yes. I have a torch. Let's see if I can make my early game survival a little easier. By looking for treasures in holes. Here's a hole. Ah, some chickens fell in this hole and died. I'll take their meat. When something dies from being crushed, you don't usually get meat from them. These feathers are only useful for arrows. Let's see if there's anything in this cave. Ah! Come here, you. Not seeing any treasures I could use. And I don't have dirt, which is a mistake. I kind of jumped in here thinking I had dirt, but I don't have dirt. Lead ore. Lead is not useful to me right now. Oop. I have dirt here though. My torch is making torch noises. I should just make a shovel. Okay. There's my shovel head. I wonder when I'll get torn apart by wolves. Just gonna throw these feathers into the abyss. I'll ask if they can. They can sleep. I'll need grass to make a bed. It's only 7 o'clock. You can make beds, and the main purpose is to sleep through the night. There's no gameplay incentive to sleep. Is it possible to chip off too much flint? I'm not sure. It is when you're blacksmithing, which is a very similar minigame. We'll try. I'll try making another spear. Nope, it won't let me chip away. It won't let me chip this away. When you're blacksmithing, you absolutely can. Turn straw into hay bales into a hay bed. Let's see what the merchant is selling. Going to be very unlikely to be able to make use of the merchant, but... Hello. I like how he honks. Mm-hmm. Not selling anything exceptional. Yeah, he talks with farts. What do you got against to that? Yeah, I could get some bismuth. Bismuth is not exceptionally useful. With bismuth, zinc, and copper, you can make bismuth bronze. If you can't find any tin. Where'd my cook fire go? It was up here, wasn't it? I can cook this piece of chicken I have. Farting and crapping are not the same thing, Jane. Therefore, your joke does not work. Now that I have a torch, I can just light the fire with it. Do a little RP sit. While I cook my chicken. What time is it? 21 or 20? Okay, we can probably sleep now. Sleep. Look how comfortable I am doing the Peter Griffin pose. So, progression. Progression goes in a couple different directions. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, I don't want your fleece. I added a mod to add wool, and it's annoying. It adds their wool to the drop tables for a bunch of stuff. Great. I'm being assailed. Making your spears glow is also a mod. Highly recommend it. It helps you find your project. You lose so many spears when you're hunting otherwise. Oh yeah, this game has kind of a plot. These spooky monsters. Is rift activity high? No, it's medium. I'm just gonna run away from the monsters. After collecting some berries, if I can. Should probably collect my bed. The shiver. I hate shivers. They're the worst enemy. Okay, I must have already hit him once. Alright, we'll get out of here. Temporal storms are one of the game's compulsion mechanics to try to make you build structures. Although the structure I'm going to build to avoid it is, well, it'll be familiar. It's already time to eat I'm a hungry boy. I'm eating a lot. I hear some berries. So the first thing I'm going to want to find is I'm looking for clay and I'm looking for signs of copper. There's a pig here. There we go. Do some underwater pig skinning. Hut made of dirt is a good choice. I'm probably just going to dig a hole. Ooh, there's a mountain over here. And there's really not much to looking for copper, other than just finding it on the ground like this. So I'm going to make a little waypoint here. But now I know there's copper here. I'm going to need more than that, though. That'll be like between 1 and 2 bits of copper. And I am going to need either 40 or 60. Because it's 22 a bar. And I'm going to need a pick, and I'm going to need a hammer at the minimum to get more. I can probably throw these bones away. Or no, throw these turnip seeds away. I do not need them. More cranberries here. Big cloud. Nice shot. Now where'd he go? This is the hard part when they run into the woods. Because he could have run down here. But doesn't appear to have. Without a torch, it's like this, by the way. Torches are funny. When you place down a torch, it'll last for 48 hours, but so long as you were holding it, it'll last forever. But it will extinguish if you get wet. Were you there? Mushrooms! These are jack-o'-lanterns, though. They're poison. Okay, you were somebody else. Oh, fuck. That's a wolf. Where'd you go? There we go. Wolves will absolutely destroy me. And they don't drop normal meat, they drop bush meat. Which is not as good. Well... it's fun while it lasted. I left all my firewood at home. I might be able to get some more before the temporal storm starts. I can cook my meat while waiting it out. Yeah, here it starts. So this game is also kind of like Silent Hill. Because this shit happens. If I were to go outside and look, I would see... maybe I should go outside and look. Nope. If I were to go outside and look, I would find giant gears popping out of the sky. And there's some really horrible monsters out there that will kill me with alacrity. Let me eat my blueberries. I look normal. At least I've got some oiled hides. I also got hurt, which will make me get hungrier. So the upside to temporal storms is they're a good place to fight monsters once you're strong enough, and the monsters can have good loot. And they force you to build some kind of structures to defend yourself. But because this is sufficient, the best way to deal with the temporal storms is just to dig a hole and then hide until it's over, which is kind of lame. That's probably why I'm so hungry, is that I got hurt and now I'm healing it off. Running out of firewood, I'll have to burn my sticks. I could make a healing item, but I just didn't get around to it before this happened. But sure, I'll burn my sticks. You also notice my clock is going backwards. When you're deep underground or in certain places in the world, the gear will go backwards. And when it gets low enough, it'll just do this or just localized around you. And it'll start spawning horrible men. It is kind of like, Neva got booted because of a probably weird inventory thing. This happens sometimes. So bush meat is not as good as red meat. I'm not out of firewood. I have a stack of it over here. I should still burn my sticks. Stinky bush meat. 120 saturation. 280. You get bush meat from like raccoons and wolves and bears. You get Zalgo text when you type in it. Why didn't Neva get Zalgo? No, she did. You get Zalgo text during temporal storms. It's very silly. It also slurs your text when you're drunk in game. If you drink alcohol, it fucks with your typing. It actually makes it really hard to type. It should be over soon. Because the server's been going for a while, these are more common, but they're still not that common. They happen like a couple times a season. Yeah, temporal storm seems to be waning. Yeah, seems to be waning. I'm gonna get to cook all my bushmeat. Ah, there we go. Here's the real lesson of Vintage Story. Always carry dirt. Always carry dirt. Hopefully that Nightmare Man despawns before I get back there. The Nightmare Men are the worst. They will one-shot you without armor. Quartz? Don't need quartz. I can make potions out of horsetails. If you have armor and a shield and a decent weapon, you can fight the Nightmare Men, but early game, you can't. Luckily, they only spawn very deep underground or during temporal storms. Now, normally this game, when you die, you drop all your items like in Minecraft, and your items last for 10 minutes. So you have 10 minutes to go get your shit. Resin. The server has a mod so that you turn into a skeleton when you die, and your stuff stays on your skeleton forever. Jack-o'-lantern. But this is cracked green risala, I think. Is this edible? Yes. Hopefully that man, after the temporal storm goes away, the men are supposed to slowly despawn. But that guy fell in my hole and killed me before he could despawn. I think there are boyfriend angels in this game. Let's see. I might just put my hides down. Delete my death waypoints. Oh, the boyfriend angel. There's a mushroom called a destroying angel, and it was in Lunacid, and I misread it. It was on screen for like 2 seconds, and it looked like the words boyfriend angel. It's like, is that what did that say boyfriend angel? I'm gonna put my bed here and my oiled hides on the ground to dry out. Not my cooked bushmeat. So let's call... This is a decent place to hang around for now. I'll want to go somewhere else later. I'll just leave that carcass medium there to hang out. So we're looking for more... We're looking for clay. We're looking for more copper. Yeah, the music in this game is quite good. There's one track that sounds like it's from Halo. And there's another track that sounds like it's from Ace Attorney. But still pretty good. I'm not going to find clay or copper down here. But I might find some tasties that'll make the early game easier. Okay, there's men who are shooting at me, so... maybe this is a good time to go make some potions. But that'll require finding reeds. Some ruins. I'll check for a basement. Sometimes under ruins, you'll find rooms. But it looks like none this time. Alright, back to the journey. We're looking for clay. We're looking for copper bits. Normally you would be looking for flax and stuff, but I'm probably not going to be doing any farming. Yeah, I'm getting hungry so fast because I'm injured. Normally you would really want to do farming. Flax especially. There are tons of you need tons and tons of flax. But over at the homestead, 10,000 blocks away, you're growing stuff right now. But I wanted to show everyone what the early game is like, which requires not having access to any of that. Mostly involves running around looking for stuff. Earth ball. This is an evil mushroom. Wait. Bees. Finding bees is important. Well, there it is. Beehive. Bees are how you get wax. And you're not at all guaranteed to find bees. Finding bees is actually... there's no better technique for finding bees than just wandering around until you hear them. But you need wax for some things and honey for other. So you do want to be... you want to be finding bees. Okay, here's some more cattails. There's a puppy over there, so I'll have to be careful. I haven't been eaten by a wolf yet. Okay, horsetail. Plus cattails. I need more horsetail. Luckily there's some horsetail right here. Horsetail plus cattail makes horsetail poultice. You slam a little bit of this goop on, and your health returns. Yeah, resin is very annoying. Which is why I installed a mod to let you use a knife on pine trees to cut a cross in them so they'll make the resin for you. Is that cheating? Maybe. But should you do it? Absolutely. So we can use peridotite. I don't know how you say this rock stuff. Is it perido or a peridot? I know with the gemstone it depends on who you ask, but you can also use this rock for making knives. It's not as good as flint, but... I mean, what do I want? What do I not need? I guess I can eat my berries. Just offhand my torch. And if you play the game, or you are interested in playing the game, this game has my heartiest recommendation if you are into survival games and or Minecraft. The Discord server has a server you can join. Hello. Ooh. You're selling a linen sack. That means I want gears. Are you what are you buying? Coal, honey, lantern, feathers. If I gather a whole bunch of feathers, I can buy a sack. More likely, though, I am to find gears via dunking into holes. Yeah, Factorio. I get it. Hopefully I can find some gears in this hole. Nice hole. Fighting men is a way to make gears. Let's just simplify my inventory. I don't want to get my torch wet. Oh! High fertility soil. This is actually quite rare. It's a shame I found it all the way here and not at home where I can actually make use of it. Slate. Aha! Exposed basement. Now, I don't know how common gears are going to be. You can break cobblestone by hand, it's just really annoying. Nothing in that chest. And nothing. And I placed that block in a very inconvenient spot. Oh, that was a bust. I got some spider webs. Maybe there's one here. What is there? Some bony soil. That is indicative of... Yeah, but I can't do anything with bony soil. I guess I can go looking for chickens. Ah, geothermal spring over here. Quartz. As far as I know, these are just like a feature that don't have any purpose. I don't know what you do with these, but they're very cool. Oh. Let's just pretend I didn't see that stuff. I think I didn't teleport as far from home as I... Oh, here we go. Chickens. Well, let's see how many feathers I get from a... 10? I need a full stack of feathers to get, what I'm hoping for. Okay, 2 chickens and I'm a third of the way there. Because a linen sack would be a big upgrade. I'll keep looking for clay. Clay is the big one. Clay would be very, very useful. There's a rabbit. Guess I can go east. Clay is not super likely to form in these. There's some snow there. It was winter until recently. This is Minecraft for perverts. This is Vintage Story. Your guy looks like this. Looks very goofy. And you make... There's more flint here. I want to find some clay so I can do some pottery. Because when I made items from dirt, I was so stoked at that. And then we all died repeatedly because it was really high rift activity and it was just spawning min on us constantly. Right now I'm looking for clay. Does it get flatter over here? Probably gets flatter if I go south. So we'll follow the river south. Now these mussels are a modded item. They give a lot of food. Earth ball. That's poison. It's a big oak tree. I wanted to name the stream that. I wanted to name the stream Minecraft for Perverts, but Twitch was like, that might be against our TOS. What do you mean it might be? What does that mean? Can I call it can I say the word pervert or not? I can eat a puffball mushroom though. I guess I can explore a cave. Although this one's going to be hard to get out of without a pickaxe. Again, if you're used to Minecraft, you'll have seen that maneuver before. Sure, I'll fuck with some more mushrooms. So this game did start as a Minecraft mod. But now it's its own thing. And I was telling the chat earlier, it's a lot more like Valheim. You're a Valheim head. What are the other survival multiplayer games out there? The Forest. It's not quite The Forest, though. It's not like The Long Dark. That's not multiplayer. Terraria? Terraria kind of counts, but Terraria is more like a Minecraft. I would say Minecraft is more of a survival multiplayer game than Terraria is, because Terraria doesn't have a hunger meter, as far as I remember. I could never get into Terraria. But I'm thankful for it every day, because it got Concerned Ape to make, Stardew Valley. It's getting dark. But Rift activity is calm, so we're probably not going to get swarmed by men. Hole. Oh boy. Do I have enough dirt to go down there? Probably not, because I want to have to use dirt to get out. I could collect some dirt. I want to go into holes because if I find some gears, I'll be able to buy that backpack from that trader. I'm gathering all this heather. Plus this will break my shovel, so I'll have one fewer thing to carry around. Redecorate the place. You'll never know I was here. There we go. Somehow I took no fall damage from that, and there's nothing in this hole. What a grand and intoxicating adventure. I could also just be looking for chickens, because if I collect a stack of feathers, I can trade that for that backpack. Gears are the game's form of money. It's of dubious usefulness. Because outside of the mod I added that was slightly too powerful, there's not really good things to buy. You like luck out sometimes and the trader will have something really good to buy, and then oftentimes they'll just have nothing. I'm gonna get lost. There's a guy shooting at me, but he's just a low-level guy. Probably. Aha! One gear. $1, Bob. Bismuth. Sure, I'll mark down bismuth. It's not really useful, but... you can see my gears cranking backwards. The caves in this game are kind of like Minecraft, kind of not. I know enough Minecraft to mostly recognize the Minecraft cave generation, but it is very similar just because, well, it's voxels, you know? It's going to look similar. This game has fairly complicated stone strata. That is more akin to Dwarf Fortress of all things. I don't think that's enough water to get my torch wet. Where'd my torch go? There we go. There we go. Oh. There'll be treasure over here, but these men will kill me. The locusts. They're a little spicier than I can handle right now. So let's see if I can't get out. Considering how hopelessly lost I got myself. I can get out if I go over there. I can see the moonlight. It's kind of funny. My sense of direction in video games is really bad. Even though in real life it's passable. I could just dig out here. So where'd that trader go? Yeah, trader. We'll go back towards the trader and hope that I can find a chicken on the way there. And a linen backpack would be very helpful. It's getting chilly. It's only 1 degree out. The game being European obviously uses Celsius, which I agree in using the metric system for most things, but I find the lack of granularity in the Celsius system somewhat impractical for everyday use. Mushrooms. I got my starving out of the way early. There's a nice ship. There's a nice pit. You can see some green olivine down there, which looks like it'll be gems, but is not gems. More peat. Chanterelles. The name of the game now is avoiding getting killed by wolves. Ooh, walnut tree. I'll mark a walnut tree. It's not, you can't eat the walnuts or anything. It's just a nice looking wood. Okay, there's the trader, so let's look for a chicken. Although hunting at night is difficult. Ah, copper. That's good. I need copper. Not going to pick it up right now. Did I hear a squawk or did I hear a... Might have heard that. Fox. It's midnight. Oh, Swavites. Oh, I think I know where I might have been here before. A long time ago. Swavite is an impact stone. It's left behind by meteoric impacts. I heard that. I heard clucks or something. This game has meteoric iron. But I find it's like gameplay wise after better than normal iron when I feel like meteoric iron should come. Well, here's how I get my other gear. Except on one of these jokers drop it. Throw rocks at me. Okay, he's dead. Get my potions out. I dropped a gear piece. That's 1/4 of a gear. Man, I hate shivers. I died. Trying to fight tier 1 guys, probably not the best. With stone tools. But I'm so hungry for getting a gear so I can get a pack. I am playing as a class that has lower starting health than normal. So I don't know why I pick fights so often. Now I gotta run all the way back to my corpse. The game makes you glow when you're doing your corpse run for this exact reason, so that if you die without a torch, or if you die and you don't have a light source, you're not just running around in the complete blindness. But it's not going to last that long. If I was going to fight deep men, I should have brought more potions. There's a wolf. Do not get killed by wolves. They kill you very quickly. A wolf will kill me in between 2 and 3 hits. For anyone else, it'll be between 3 and 4 hits. Yeah, we should sleep. I'm right by my bed. It's 8 o'clock. I can cross the river. There's a water deer. I believe they have tusks. So I really want to try going over the mountain. That's probably not a good idea. I wanted to find mods that added more creatures, but I couldn't find that many good creature mods that worked. Because you see the usual suspects. There's some chickens there, but I gotta go get my corpse. That raccoon has berries. Oh, you dropped them. They're mine now, idiot. Ooh, a lot of copper. So you kind of see the same mobs, and eventually you'll come to know them well. But because this game isn't even, like, out yet, and only recently entered its public beta. This game was closed beta until, like, semi-recently, I think. The modding for it is iffy. I had to rewrite a couple of the ones that I'm using. And even then I got some of them wrong. Like this one here. That's mine shafts. This is a mod. It's a little overpowered. And it gave me a rusty gear. And some rice. I will eat this rice. A certain shinobi said you could eat rice exactly as is. I didn't program very much. I still don't know. I don't know how the mods in this game are explicitly made. I don't know what the mod making tools are like. I just know how to rewrite JSON files to make them read correctly. Okay, so somewhere around here there's a hole. However, it could be some distance away. Where the heck is the entrance to this, cave at? Here. Hopefully that man is not... I should make a torch. I have to get 3 sticks. 4 sticks, and I'll need a knife as well. Now I need some rock. Slate will work for 1, but I need flint. There we go. Okay. Knife and stick makes, or knife blade plus stick makes knife. Use knife to get grass. Grass and 2 sticks as a fire starter. Grass and there we go. So, torch. I can light my torch. I've used the wiki a little bit. This game has a very robust. Oh, here's the starter guide. This game has a very robust in-game guide. If you press the H key, it brings it up. And when you're not in multiplayer, it actually pauses the game. And if you have something in your inventory and you press H while hovering over it, it brings you to its handbook page. Tells you where to get it, tells you what it's used for, tells you how to craft it. This game has a very robust in-game guide. So you don't explicitly need to use a wiki. Seems like that shiver is not here anymore. Probably don't have room for 1. I don't need this fire starter, and I probably don't have room for 1 part gear. See if there's anything else down here. Now that the men are gone. Aha! A skull! It's actually so much shit here I can hardly get around. Please? Well, I guess I'll break these skeletons prone. Yeah, this is the room where I found all those skulls the other time. Where's my spider webs at? Leave a message and I'll call you back. Please? I just want to get over there to those crates. I'm gonna have to break this spelotherm. Forgotten noble leggings. Some lore. And I got scammed. There's mods that add books that will give you traits when you read them. But this one has... It sometimes generates the books in stacks of 0. Okay, I have a spearhead just sitting around I should get rid of. Because this aged crate is actually useful. Oh, gears! Money! That means I don't need these feathers anymore. Get out of here. I actually do want this scrap metal. metal parts. I don't really want metal parts right now. Oh, another chest over there. I'm just gonna have to break this fence. We're rich. Wow, ruined fences. Wonderful. Okay, let's get out of here. Try not to get my torch wet. Oh, no you don't. Yeah. Let's just get out of here. I got everything I could possibly... Well, apparently this is not where I came in. My spears are going to break soon. Where the hell are they? Eh, whatever. Okay. $11 gears. Amazing. But now I'm a little hungry, so let's have some mushrooms. I guess I should eat my berries first. You can make your own fences. Sadly, the ruined fence, it cannot be repaired. Oh, no, that's not true. It can be repaired, but it repairs into ruined fence for you to pick up and place. Now, these mine shafts, you go down them. They will bring you to deeper places of the world. These are not vanilla. These are modded content. And by default, you will find way too much treasure down here. Every log will have mushrooms growing on it, and there'll be just ore everywhere. So I turned them off. Because I wanted to have more structures. I like running into them when I'm mining. Which you don't mine for quite some time in this game. Because obviously I can't make a pickaxe out of rock to mine rock. That's just silly. Although, what video games think pickaxes are and how they work is also weird. Is there automation in this? To a certain extent. You can make chutes. But you really can't do anything more. Oh, they're not letting me buy because I'm full of stuff. Wow, I can buy 4 backpacks? That's crazy. Oh, come on. I gotta use the buy menu correctly. That's so nuts that I've skipped a backpack tier. I'm gonna have to vomit all my items on the ground to rearrange them, though. Then I can use my knife that I put on the ground. You can take your hand baskets and cut them back up into cattails. Yeah, there's still something in there. Probably this raw poultry. Hell yeah. I'm not going to be able to do better than linen sack until leather, which requires metal. Wolves. What does that mean? I should go home. Yeah, menu gaming indeed. Where was that copper I saw? I should start picking up copper. So normally it goes, you use reed backpacks or reed hand baskets until you get hunter's backpacks with pelts. And then you use them, and theoretically you could use linen backpacks next, but linen takes so long to grow that you're not likely to. So you're more likely to have the flax in the field growing by the time you unlock... Oh, clay. I was looking for this. My shovel broke. There's still some snow here from winter. Do I have any rocks? Nope. There's some right here. Make some shovel, get some clay. So normally you go hunter's backpack, don't quite make linen sacks because it takes a long time to make leather. Or because it takes a long time to grow linen. And then you get backpacks, which are better. But I skipped the hunter's backpack part. I had 11 flint, I'm stupid. But clay. Clay is very important because your first reasonable storage solution comes from clay. You can make reed baskets, not just hand baskets, but like little chests you put on the ground. But their storage capacity is pitiful. They can carry 4 things. Whereas you can make big clay pots with clay. And you need clay in order to do metallurgy, because you can make molds out of clay that you pour the metal into. And you have to make crucibles as well. Although I should go home. If I can spell activity correctly. It's a lot of clay. So the rift activity that appears in the C menu tells you how many men are going to spawn. And because this is high rift activity, it means you'll get absolutely swarmed with men. However, it's only 6 o'clock. But that might give me time to get home. Cranberries are the worst berry. They last longer than currants, but They restore the least amount of food. Because be honest, would you be willing to bite down on just a handful of fresh, untreated cranberries? Or would that be weird? Collect some poop. I don't know if I've talked about it on stream before, but I've absolutely talked about the cranberry cabal before. How cranberry subsidies allow the cranberry market to exist. How cranberries have special exemption. Eva wants me to get killed by monsters. Because much like in real life, if you go to sleep at 7, you will wake up at 4. How many copper bits? 11 copper bits. Or 13. Why did I say 11 when I clearly saw 13? Here. Yeah, cranberry cabal and the cheese mines. That's America, baby. But cranberries have a special exemption from the FDA to be able to say they have no added sugar. When the cranberries you buy at the store absolutely have added sugar. A cranberry is not edible without added sugar. That is not to say cranberries are not a useful plant in the correct culinary use. I'll eat cranberries. And cranberry juice is pretty good. But you can't be lying about them. I wonder how cranberries are in Europe then, because their food regulations are much more strict. I'm sure there is no cranberry cabal in Europe that allows them to put no added sugar on their cranberries. I'm going to collect this copper and then attempt to sleep. I'll build a dirt hut around my sleeping bed. As opposed to other kinds of beds. Which I guess is like a water bed. Just the one. 15 copper. We're almost halfway to the amount of copper I need. Beds that eat. That's right. That's a deathbed. The bed that eats. What a terrible movie. I wonder if Deathbed was made as a joke. Or on a bet. Was it the Chuper that was made on a bet? Or, no, it was Manos the Hands of Fate that was made on a bet. If I were to stop moving, I would be swarmed by men. So just don't stop moving. So where's my bed? There it is. Minecraft house. Made out of dirt. Doesn't even have a door. Yeah, just burying myself like a bear, so I won't turn the light out. So I can only sleep for 7 hours in this crappy bed. So I did wake up at 4 a.m., but it's light. You can turn on cave-in mode for dirt so that dirt can't support itself, but even then there is a way to make dirt a buildable material. Okay, now it is time to create. First I'll put this crate down. Crates are storage items where you can fit stacks of a single item in a crate, which makes them very useful. I can't just put my pants on the ground, so... Wait. There we go. Put my warm woolen pants and wear my Forgotten Noble pants. We're going to need sticks, but... Let us begin pottery. So, pottery works a bit like knapping does, but we're going to make some raw storage vessel. Actually, I'm starving to death. Let me eat some berries. Okay, check this shit out. You press the F key to change your brush. You can add or remove. You draw in the little lines. You can put duplicate layer and it copies the layer underneath. Learning that technique is very important because otherwise you'll wear your fingers out clicking on all these little squares. Look how dope this is though. I am doing pottery. I am filling in cubes. I hear a shiver. Fuck. What are you doing out? Fuck. Where am I at? Really, what are you doing? It's calm. And it's light out. Why was there just a shiver around? Yeah, whatever. I'll put your stupid garbage on the ground where it belongs. I would appreciate the music playing again. Because the music in this game is pretty good. I keep seeing a leaf rustle back and forth and thinking it is something. Bam! I have made an unfired storage vessel. Wait, is there music frequency? Sound? Music frequency? Okay, sure. There we go. That worked right away. Thank you, Gage. So, my pottery is unfired, so it doesn't work yet. I have to fire it. Which means I want to pick it up, and I'm going to put it in a hole. Now I need to collect grass. Because if you press H and type in pit kiln, it tells you how to do it. Place clay products in a 1x1x1 hole, then place dry grass sticks and firewood. Peat and coal also can be used. Ignite to fire your clay products. Be careful, ignites nearby combustible blocks. Yeah, so different kinds of fuels take different time periods. So you need sticks and grass and fuel. I have peat, which is not the best, but is much better than firewood. The grind for sticks in the early game can be very annoying. There are lots of mods to turn firewood into sticks, etc. But once you get access to metal, you get sticks way faster and it stops being an issue. Grass as well. When you're harvesting grass with knives, it takes a while, but later you'll get scythes and they harvest grass very quickly. But we're not there yet. We're in the early game. Although our early game was quite precious. Or not quite precious, but gracious, because it gave me linen sacks early, thanks to the wilderness trader, and finding that room with all the skulls in it. Man, I wish jack-o'-lanterns were edible, because they're so cute. They have a fun name, but they will harm you. They're not super poisonous or anything, but you still don't want to eat them. Okay, now I need sticks. Did I throw all my bones away? I did. So now we're hunting for sticks. The best way to get sticks without shears is just to run around the woods picking them up. You can break branches to get them, but not all branches. My chicken meat is rotting. I'll just put that on the ground. Sorry, chickens. I killed you for no reason. Oh, here's something I wanted to do, but haven't ever done before. Was there any more vines? Yeah. Three vines makes a rope. And stick, rope, and metal scraps gives scrap weapon kit. And you get a random scrap weapon from doing it. Hopefully I get an axe or a spear. I got an axe. So scrap weapons are as good as copper, but they have lower HP, lower durability. But the spears are probably what you really want. Unless you're a blackguard class, in which case you probably want one of the club or the mace. And there are early game tools that you can make out of scrap that you collect. Otherwise, scrap doesn't have a ton of use. Mostly usable for making dye later. Black and gray dye. Okay, 15 sticks. That's probably enough to fire my large storage, although I'm going to want to make a couple different things. I want to hear the song that sounds like Ace Attorney to show up so I can ask if it sounds like Ace Attorney and have someone who understands music better tell me why it sounds like Ace Attorney. I'm thinking it might just be the same MIDI voices. Okay, let's get back to the pit kiln and start cooking. Okay. First step, apply grass. Next step, apply sticks. Next step is apply poop. Then you apply fire. And there we go. That will eventually, in like a little under a day, turn into a fired pot. But I'm also going to want some cooking pots, and some crocks, and some bowls. Because as you might imagine, cooked food is a lot better than just stuff cooked over a fire. And you could make some items multiples at a time, like I'm making 4 bowls at once. If it's yellow, you gotta remove it. If it's green, you gotta fill it in. There we go. Automatically picked them up. We're gonna need a crucible. For melting. This minigame gets way easier once you figure out that there is a duplicate layer button that you should make ample use of. Gonna want some crocks. Where's my crocks at? Here we go. A lot of the recipes start the same way. Oh wait, is that where you guys are coming out of that hole? My spear broke. It's gonna punch me. And these spears are pretty done. There we go. Men are coming out of holes to harm me. They're coming out of holes to make me hungry is what it is. So I should, The bad news is that horsetails don't respawn. Well, they do, but it's really slow. Most flowers do not respawn. Whereas horsetails only respawn in fields. Oh, another gear. I'll throw that fleece away. Fleece is a modded item. The wool mod adds fleece to too much stuff. Ah, here we go. This is like a 1 or 2% drop. These have secret uses. But the most practical use for them is if you use them, they make you can set your spawn point with them. This is not Minecraft. You don't spawn from your bed. You gotta set your spawn point somehow. Although usually when I'm running the server, I'll use server commands to set the spawn point at a good location so that we're not running 2 kilometers every time we die. This is my server in the Blood Gulch Discord. If I reach over to the right, I will touch my closet, which has the little computer running this server on it right now. Although there are public servers for this. If you want to play in the Blood Gulch server, post in the... There's a thread in the games channel. You post your account name, I can whitelist you. Bam. Should probably dig another pit kiln. Hello, Burnhead. Speaking of people in the server. You'll probably want to use a temporal gear to set your spawn point, Burnhead. On account of I have moved the spawn point pretty far away so that I can stream the early game without... Because in the server we just made our first batch of steel. That's about how far along we are. But that's 10,000 blocks away. If you give squeeze, then it give middle finger says, fuck you. Not quite the vanilla endgame. We haven't done any of the quote-unquote plot yet. But steelmaking is quite involved, yeah. I need a crucible. Hopefully I can fire a crucible alongside 2 crocs. And really, life doesn't change very much between having access to steel and having access to iron. There's just like a very minute number of things that change. Steel is mostly just iron, but better. Nope, can't do that. Then I may as well make two ingot molds. But even getting iron is pretty involved. Because iron ore is actually not very difficult to find at all. But you need to use bloomeries to make iron blooms. And then you need to hammer the slag out and hammer the slags into ingots. I will eventually want another cooking pot, so I guess I'll make another. I want to run out of clay soon. I'll have to go get some more. But access to steel gives you access to better leather, gives you access to better backpacks. And obviously you can make... I thought that fire sounded really loud. I have an axe. Better just to cut down the trees that are on fire than to try to save anything specific. I may have started a forest fire. That'd be really funny if I started a forest fire here. Would not be the first time. Really, this is just slash and burn. I want to cut this one down especially, if it'll let me. Yeah, this is burn and slash. I don't know what caught on fire. With my flint axe, this is going to be very slow. What caught on fire? What started the fire, though, is what I'm interested in. Okay, this should be contained. I have an idea. Will this help? What if it decided to start raining? I've caught on fire. You know what? Just let the fire take me. Although I don't want my inventory to burn. This is fine. This is the forest that Gavin Swarv burned down. This reminds me of back in the day, an old Minecraft. Every map would eventually burn down because fire burnt forever, and lava would cause grass to catch on fire. You know, the funny thing is, I've learned this lesson before. But now there's a nice clearing here. I always try to make my pits, my fire pits, out of gravel so that this doesn't happen. I got some maple seeds. The forest can regrow. But the fire seems to be contained. Although I've probably ruined my pit kilns. They might stay on. They might take. One thing that happens when pit kilns get wet is they don't burn. Like they look like they're on fire, but they might not be. How do I do this? Hopefully it won't be permanently on fire, or permanently raining. You see, Masters, I've already left my stuff and came to a faraway place. Chop down this one remaining log. And there we go. One thing I should do, though, I should set myself on fire, and actually I can just do this. I was at low enough health and starving that it was correct just to kill myself. Doggy!
Hello!
Ah! Hello Sly09. What was today's stream? I didn't even realize what you were streaming today. We're playing Minecraft for perverts. I just caused a minor forest fire, and now I'm running back to my corpse. Ah, Dragonstorm. How's the new format? Any format with prowess in it cannot be that bad. But I'm a little worried about some of the cards from that set. Without casting a creature. Ooh. Did you, okay, how do you do that? What are the prowess ways without... Doggy! What are the ways to win without casting? Did you have, the steel cutter? Turn 3 Goblin Bitter Blossom. Turn 4 Orcish Oriflame. Interesting. Let's find out if Neva is online. So that I can go to sleep in my dirt hovel. This is Minecraft for perverts. It's called Vintage Story. It's a lot like Valheim mixed with Minecraft. I'm showing off what the early game looks like, and I purposefully burnt down this little clearing here to give me a flat area to build. And now I'm eating mushrooms. My head is clipped inside of a dirt block. I hear men. Now they're down there trapped behind the dirt walls. Yeah, my pit kiln's messed up. Alright. Getting rained on messed up my pit kilns. So I should just go get some gravel. Yeah, this is, we're early April, so this is snow. It won't stick. It's like, okay, my brain has to do the calculations of trying to decide what 2 degrees is. It's like 35, close to 40. Is there gravel or sand somewhere I can use? Up here. Yeah, winter does fall upon you. In the winter, animals are thinner, so they give less meat. Berries don't propagate because they're dormant. And you need more food because you're cold, and also you need warm clothing so you don't get cold. So you need to have some things sorted out by around November. Food does spoil, but you can make a cellar to have food last a lot longer. And stuff like, and grain lasts for actual years. So if you,
Uncle Phil, you got to kick that man's butt!
Thank you for the sub QD. So with proper storage techniques, you'll have food for the winter. But you do have to prepare. Or you can go south. If you go south something like 20,000 blocks, you'll get towards the equator. Although the way this game the world in this game works very odd, if I recall correctly. It is not infinite like Minecraft. It's a million by a million. It's a million by a million blocks. I should just make a shovel. It's a million by a million blocks, and every 20,000 or so blocks, it oscillates between equator to northern to southern biome. So you can go to polar regions as well. Is there Santa? Not to my knowledge. You will find men, though. Although you'll find them everywhere. Okay, I should have done this to begin with, but I didn't. And that's why I burnt the forest down. Okay, maybe now I can get my pottery fired. My ingot molds are over here. I'm making pottery right now, which involves putting my items I've made out of clay into the ground, covering them with sticks, and now I need to cover them with my peat, which I dug out of the ground. If you get to the pole, you should find a thing. There is that is reasonable. I feel like it's been raining for a long time. Did my rain command bug out and make it rain forever? Okay, there we go. I tried to put my forest fire out by making it rain and it didn't work. Yeah, this floating cube over the... I'm putting these cubes over the pit kilns to keep the rain from putting my fire out. Just like Grandma used to do. I'm starving to death. Do I have any food? I have some mushrooms. Would you believe the fans of this game are fans of Primitive Technology Guy? I need to put more peat on this. There we go. There we go. Let's stack my peat. Can I store my grass in any convenient way? Make some potions. Can I put temporal gears on the ground? No. That stuck with me forever. And Eva ate a liter of cottage cheese and kept us from being able to make real cheese out of it. And now she's wondering, oh, why is the cheese at an evil number? Because you ate my cheese. And I'll never forgive you. Oh, and I can turn 4 gear parts into a gear. Oh, I found some lore. I can read this scroll. It makes like the same sound as a monster seeing you in Fear and Hunger. I should make some more spears. And I should go hunting around for more copper. Or make a shovel and go to where the clay was at. Oh, here's the napping minigame, by the way. This is how you make tools. You put down a rock, and then you beat the tool you want out of the rock by chipping away at this little voxel minigame. It's so cool. This game's great. Do I have a knife? I put a knife over here, didn't I? Did my knife break? I thought I for sure saw a knife around here. There it is. Ooh. Look who came to my house to say hello. Actually, no. Let's employ a little bit of strategy here. I wanted to run towards the river. There we go. They're much easier to stab when they're in the river versus when they're in the woods and they can go literally anywhere. Did you die? Nope. Come back here. Why do you have so much health? You're just a deer. Did I lose this? Oh, here's my spear. There we go. Give me your bones. And I'm streaming this because I was wondering what to stream today. I was thinking about buying and streaming Oblivion Remastered, which I figured would be pretty popular. But the game just looks so ugly. More bees. There are bees here. And I have been playing this game a lot, so I thought I would show everyone what it's like. And if you like the game, if you like Minecraft, if you like Valheim, you can play with us, because I'm currently playing on the Blood Gulch server that I run. Wow. What am I doing? Am I going to be able to use this rawhide? I'm not going to be able to use this rawhide. It's just going to rot. So I won't be able to make leather for some time. So I guess I should oil it because I'm not going to use the fat for anything either. Well, I might make some torches. To be honest, the boycott has not influenced my decision about Oblivion. Because I'm not sure how effective that particular targeted boycott is going to be. If the individual feels like it is a worthwhile thing to do, then I encourage them to do so. I'm much more satisfied to not be that interested in the Oblivion remaster because of how ugly it is. I need to make some firewood. Will my meat finish cooking before I start starving to death? I don't know. If only there were some non-evil mushrooms to eat around here. Jack-o'-lanterns are poison. Which, actually, I'll do this. You can actually tell when you pick up a mushroom. It straight up tells you. HP -6. So it's never worth eating poison mushrooms because even if you're starving to death, being low on HP makes you hungrier, so I'm not going to find food down there. This flint axe is done for. I could eat that lump of fat. I do have some other stuff I need to make. I ran out of fuel. I need to make a hammer mold and some pick molds. I forget about Bronze Age. We're not even Copper Age yet. Although I have linen sacks, thanks to Trader. So the pottery minigame works a bit like the napping minigame. Bam. I will not have enough, and here's the most evil object in the game, the prospecting pick. I believe the prospecting pick is a work in progress as far as... Where did I find that clay at? It was by the trader, wasn't it? It was like around here. So if I pin that, I should be able to find it again. I need more grass. The method of prospecting is very... Almost everything in the game is very intuitive and makes sense in terms of, like, how it works. The prospecting pick does not. It is a bad system. Nobody likes it. Which is to say I'm using a mod that makes it better. But even the mods, none of them... It's like a really... It's a Gordian knot of a problem. So there's ore distribution through different kinds of stone. Kind of like Dwarf Fortress is the most thing I can think of that it's like. And you need to... How do you find a specific ore over every kind of stone in the game? And the game's current answer is a weird messed up dowsing rod that doesn't tell you what ores are actually where you're at, but gives you a list of like the crustal averages of that kind of stone and points you towards what you're looking for. Yeah, everybody will have different opinions on how hard it should be to find ores. And I find the mod that we're using is a happy medium. But even then it's a bit janky. Okay. So now we want food. Well, that's why I didn't have any grass. I turned it into hay bales. The essay thread for this is called Vintage Story You're Prospecting Wrong. That's funny. And probably true. I used the old system a fair bit. I learned how to use it. It involves counting to 32, 64, 128 a lot. And it involved digging lots of exploratory shafts. Terraform Craft, we made it for sure. This was a Minecraft mod at some point. I don't remember what it was called when it's a Minecraft mod. It might have been just called Vintage Craft. But they absolutely did say, now we're just going to write everything from the ground up for it to support the ideas that we have. One of the devs of Terraform Craft. That makes sense. Did I pick up this copper already? I think I did. I'm probably not going to get to blacksmithing today. But I would like to get my pottery done. And it certainly solves a lot of problems by not being in Minecraft, you know. And it's only $20. Or 20 euros, which I paid around $22 for it. Now, where was that clay at? Patch of snow. I should have marked it when I saw it like a dummy. But I didn't like a dummy. Where was that clay? Was it? I think it was past the oak tree. It was somewhere between the walnut and the copper. I think. It's a raccoon. I'll steal your berry. Am I the bad guy for stealing berries from raccoons? Mushrooms. Well, here's a hole. I will not find clay down in that hole. This fruit tree hasn't woken up yet. Dormant. Here it is. We need clay, and now we need copper. Because I haven't seen any exposed copper, but certainly there's some copper under some of the copper bits I've unearthed. So we'll need 40 total copper to make 2 ingots worth of tools. Yeah, animal husbandry is... First, you need access to a saw. A saw gives you boards. Boards give you a trough. And with the trough, you can lure animals. And they stay wild for several generations. And while they're still wild, rams will headbutt you, and ewes will not always give milk. So it takes several generations to... Rift activity is high, so I should probably not explore tonight. But animals remain useful even while they're semi-wild. And once you've got, I think, a generation under the belt, you can slaughter them easier. And because you can fatten them up, they can give you lots of meat. Chickens are probably the easiest ones to domesticate, but also I never found much use for them. They're probably more useful if you use a lot of arrows, because you need feathers for arrows. And you can give them flax grain, which flax grain is not worth as much food as spelt or rye grain. But chickens eat it and still give you eggs, so it's a way of making your bad food into good food. Whereas this game is a part of the 90s food pyramid, because you have different nutrition stats. Your base health goes up the more you even these bars out and get them to and fill them up by eating different kinds of foods to keep you from just eating the same food over and over and over again. And for some reason, one of the bars is dairy. The food pyramid is here to say, eat 3 servings of dairy every day. And the only way to get dairy is to domesticate sheep. Or goats. Which seems silly to me, that dairy would be its own food category. Yeah, you gotta make your bones stronger by drinking lots of delicious milk. Or more accurately, making cheese, because milk is not that nutritious. Well, it is. It's just we haven't domesticated our sheep enough for them to reliably give milk. So the dairy bar is always the lowest. Like early game, all you're going to get is fruit and meat with the occasional vegetable from mushrooms. Okay, I have to cross the river. And so it's 8 o'clock. I found bismuth there. Actually, if there's a bismuth and also... There's tin up here, isn't there? No, zinc. Zinc and bismuth plus copper makes bismuth bronze, which is as good as bronze. Maybe I could make my hovel less embarrassing. Although being made out of dirt, there's not a lot you can do to keep it from being embarrassing. I touched fire with my butt. Finish making this prospecting pick mold. Those will be in the next firings. Copper and lead for brass. Well, brass is kind of a loaded term anyways, because people in the business prefer to call it... What else do I need? Not really anything for now. Oh, I should make another large vessel because you always need large vessels. Copper-bearing alloy. Because there's so many different kinds of bronzes and brasses that the words barely mean anything. So I'm sure there is a kind of brass that has lead in it. Probably a free machining brass. Although really brass is already so free machining, I don't know why it would need lead. So what free machining steel has in it is lead. Some people are trying to move away from it because of the lead content, but it's one of the great shames of material science is lead is just so useful for so many things. It's just a shame about, you know, its poison. Let's see who is next to a bed. I don't know if Burned Head is not. Somebody is out exploring. I can see them making waypoints. Yeah, it's Burned Head. I thought it might be. He's a frolicker. Yeah, Roman sugar. Who was the leaded gasoline guy who killed himself, probably on accident, in his polio harness he made? Man, what a fucker. I think that guy did, the ozone depleting, gases too. Thomas Midgley Jr. Makes sense. Behold! From whence there was nothing, now there is a pot. So I can fucking store my stuff in it. But there's always more. Might need some more sticks. And I might need some more peat. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need more peat. I need more peat, although I think there's some peat over here. Ah, death cap. Here's some destroying boyfriend. Was I wrong in remembering where the peat was? No, there's peat. Yeah, they're eating delicious food over at the lake house, whereas I'm over here eating berries and garbage. Not every biome supports peat. It's useful when you can find it, just as an easier to get fuel source than firewood. Wood is more plentiful, but a little more tiresome to collect. I'm gonna need more grass. And I'm going to need more sticks. The stick economy. I might have to resort to tree punching to get my sticks. Considering these are well-stomped grounds at this point. And you know, I might have burned down half the woods. That's fine. That was an adventure. Oh ho! One bit of copper. And I think I'm going to have to... Nope, there's some herb sticks. But I might have to resort to tree punching. The game sort of discourages stick punching by making it kind of suck. Sticks are another one of the common sticking points for people. Things that get you to install mods. It's only really a problem until you have access to metal. Oh yeah, this a lot of our there's definitely different kinds of players for this game. Where some of us on the server like to go frolicking, and then a lot of people just stay around the base and build. You can actually make some very nice looking houses in this. There's lots of good building blocks. I've just been living in dirt because it's been like the first few days, and also I'm not the biggest house building guy. But there are people on the server who are, so there are nice looking houses to keep our shit in. I like the complexity simulator type game, is what Burnhead calls them. Where you have problems and you're looking for solutions. And this game has a lot of that, but it also does have a lot of farming and building houses that look nice. Taking care of animals. Preparing for winter so you don't starve to death. Doggy. Do I have spears? I have spears. Nice shot. Nice shot. Fuck my spear. Where's it at? This is why hunting in the woods is hard. There we go. Mostly killing the wolf to get rid of it rather than to eat it. Because I'm surprised I haven't been killed by wolves yet. The class I'm playing as has lower detection radius. So it makes it a bit easier to keep animals from killing you. And if you sneak attack a wolf, they are more likely to run away than they are to turn around and fight you. Yep. We'll start cooking my meat. Because even bad meat is still meat. I can start planting some trees to make up for, yeah. Now that's classic Minecraft. We are at, I need 13 more copper nuggets. Okay. Not really sure what I need rawhides for, but... I guess I am going hunting. And looking for copper. I've not been up here yet. So we'll go over there and look for both. Well, I should probably grab my bushmeat first. Or more likely, we'll eat this bushmeat and then call it a stream. I think I've given an overview of what the early game of Vintage Story is like. We'll do a little bit of a RP cooking. There we go. This is what Gavin Swarp looks like. So this has been Vintage Story. If you like, if you want to collect rocks and sticks and get killed by men at night and get frustrated by the prospecting minigame unless you use a mod, or install some mods and have them like not work, I can heavily recommend this game. I like this game a lot. There's a server in a thread in the Discord server. If you're in that, there should be a link below the video. Thanks to QB for the sub earlier. Thanks to Cyanide for the raid. I think we're going to call it a night. I'm going to eat some bushmeat. Yummy. That's going to be it for now. Thanks, everybody, for joining. I guess if Jins is already done streaming, I'll be able to raid. Good night, everybody.